with a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day, and right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo.
Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, the states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You gotta acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
I think when it comes to the woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical,
same people. That's number two. That's all theater. This is WWF.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
What you laughing at?
I always look. The intro has actually grown on me. I always laugh at King J, and I was laughing at Ken on that. But King J intro is the funniest.
I miss King J. Well, shout out to King J getting his education on, trying to better himself. Who told him to do those things? But anyways, nevertheless, we are here today. Lunch with the new party. It's going to be a short but impactful show. Shout out to Heaven. She called out sick today, but we still love her. She'll be back hopefully sometime this week. And we don't know where's Andre. What happened to Andre, Gray? But that's okay. We're going to do a search party for him. And today was a topic that I think Andre would have killed on. Should America re-segregate? Andre, if you see this was for you, bro. We don't know what happened. But nevertheless, Gray, we're going to answer that question today. Should we resegregate? I got a lot of impactful clips. So the reason why I'm posing this question for everyone watching, we saw some of the most heinous crimes against women. I'm going to say it's a women issue this week. Or this month in August, we had someone that was unalived. We talked about it last night. It was a Ukrainian woman who was stabbed in the neck by a deranged individual. He was black. He happened to be black, but white tees are obsessed with it being a race issue. However, there was also a black woman that's not getting attention, but we're going to talk about it today, that was unalived in Prince George's County, Maryland, by an illegal Hispanic man. She was a black woman again. But yet, white tees are quiet on this issue. So today we're going to ask, should America resegregate? Because that has been what the white tees have been hollering and saying all over. I love X because now we know what white tee people are thinking in private. What do you think, Gray?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things about social media. And me being managing the social media for the new party, I see the right side of social media, and I'm shocked by some of the stuff that I see. Sometimes I feel like, are we back in before the 1960s? I definitely don't think that we should resegregate. I think this is a crime that was committed. This is just an isolated incident, and we shouldn't look at a whole race of people just because this one heinous act happened.
Yeah, so we're going to play some clips and give some reactions. The first clip I have was Chris Cuomo. He had on Liz Wheeler and Nina Simone. They talked about the Black community and issues in it. Let's watch this and I'll get Gray's take on it. Here we go.
Part is the brokenness of the nuclear family, the brokenness of the Black family, the fact that Black fathers are absent. That young Black men turn to drugs and gangs.
How dare
and by
you?
the way,
Well, the
this
family,
is also
I
true
think the
for
family
young
in general
white
you can
men
point to. I don't know that
from
one race
Minnesota.
over the other works.
This is also true for the murderer who killed the two young children, a white man. Will you listen to what I'm saying? I literally said the broken nuclear family, both Black families and white families. That murderer.
Right. You singled out Black families, but if you're saying all families, it's a different point.
It's especially evident in the Black community, but it is also true that when fathers are absent, that young men are more likely to commit.
I will put you guys. I'll put you guys on a text thread.
Put us together.
I'll put you.
If you're open to that, Liz, I'm open to it.
I'll put you together. Liz is open to conversation.
Let's do it.
Nina's open to conversation. That's why we're all here. It's not an easy conversation to have, but it's an important conversation to have. We'll keep having it. Liz, thank you for being here. Nina.
Liz said, only on camera, only when I'm getting paid will I talk to you.
That's what the white lady said.
I mean, did she say she open to it? She stayed quiet. Liz don't want to talk to her.
I do feel like the Black family is being singled out. I mean, if we look at history and we look at how other communities came to this country, I would think that Black people are actually doing well compared to the situation that they came from. I mean, you're basically comparing us to another group that's had the benefits of them coming here with money and them coming, not having to deal with racism or even just mainly economically. They were able to build up finances, education, these different things. So yes, Black people are further behind the curve because we really didn't get civil rights to the 1960s.
Yeah, and not just that. The Black family has been under attack since the 1960s when we were supposed to get government help that told Black men you can't be in the homes, but yet now we have government help taking over cities like DC and Chicago. Yet now I got into a heated exchange today with an old friend of mine telling me that he's okay with this government help, yet we had the same government help in the 1960s when we got the Black men out the home, when they did Tuskegee testing on us. But look where it got us. Did it help the Black community? Did it help us, Ray? What do you think?
As far as Section 8 housing, I think it did help a lot of, I'm not going to say people I know, but a lot of people, they don't care about getting married. They still have the guy there. And I would hope that the women wouldn't let a Section 8 house make them kick somebody out. If we look at the actual statistics of the War on Poverty by Lyndon B. Johnson, it took a lot of people out of poverty. I mean, we have a lot of Black people who are in a good place and are in middle class. And I think we have to look at those social programs that helped us. And we were looking also at federal jobs, federal employment, government jobs.
Well, I definitely disagree with you because we still see it now. According to U.S. Census Bureau in 2021 to 2022, about 26% of Black women were currently married. That's less than the average with the white community, which is at 45 to 50%. So we have seen it. Black women are not getting married. Black families are not staying together. So I don't disagree with Liz to some extent. However, I do think that ownership and onus needs to be on the government for some of it.
The government plays a part, I think, in the economic situation. And when people come for our culture and attack our Black culture, the only thing I will agree with, and not to sound red pill here, is that our women are known for being aggressive, are known for being a little bit harder to work with. and you know that stereotype has been put in society. So you have black men, because black men are not marrying less; they're marrying outside of their culture, and that is directly affecting the marriage rate for black women, because most black women don't date outside their race. Doesn't matter.
I agree with that.
What country they're from. Most black women don't date; they date black men.
Well, I showed you one extreme. Nina Simone is pretty far left. Let me play somebody far right and what they think on the state of our community. Here we go.
I don't know how you can be sitting in a table talking against your own racial identity.
My identity isn't in my skin color.
But you are black.
I'm not blind. I do see that I am black. But
So how can you sit there and say that black people have privilege when they don't? For example, if a police were to pull you over, you're not going to have the same privilege as your counterparts. They have more privilege than you.
That's an assumption.
That's not an assumption.
What privilege do these guys have?
That's not an assumption.
What privilege do they have that I don't?
They're white. Like the example that I gave you, if
just,
a police
just white by default.
If the example that I gave you, which you're ignoring, if a police were to
I've been stopped by the police. Okay.
And what has been your?
I paid my ticket and I drove on my way.
But unfortunately, not everyone has that privilege.
Then it sounds like it wasn't something specific to white privilege or black privilege. It's just the fact that we had a good interaction and I gave him respect and he respected me and we went about our day.
I don't know how you can be sitting in a table talking.
Gray, what's your thoughts on that clip?
I felt like that was a good analogy. And anytime I hear a black conservative basically say, oh, well, I've been pulled over, nothing happened. I would never want to be a cop because the temptation would be too much. And for me, I've seen cops blackmail black guys. And it's just an automatic instinct that you can go and you can do whatever you want in these neighborhoods to these people, even if you want to do it for financial gain, take somebody's money, write somebody a ticket and get away with it, not have to worry about going to court. So people also want to talk about, oh, well, this happened to me, this happened to me. If an officer did something to a black person, it would be easier for them to get away with it than if they did it to a white person. So black people trying to say that, white people don't have any type of privilege, I just feel like, it's just a lie that they're just yelling. They do have a privilege. There's more of them in this country than us.
I mean, comments like that is when I got to give the FBA some credit. Kamal said she's Afro-Latina. I guarantee that. I ain't gonna lie, got Caribbean vibes there. And I'm just like, your experience does not equate to certain black people's experience in this country. And I don't think it's fair when we say, well, I'm black and I didn't happen to me. But there are thousands of times, unfortunately, it does happen to people. And I'm not saying that that is always the standard or always the case, but there are exceptions where people don't show up home alive. They're dead. They get unalived when the incident, flips in a second.
Right. And the issue is that this stuff is Lucky said this is fine, different topics, boring as AF. Lucky is about to get real spicy. Just stay for a little bit. It's gonna get spicy.
Yeah, especially after I play the CNN clip and I call out all their lies.
But what I would say is that there is a form of white privilege, and that even if a black person has never experienced any type of racism, any type of prejudice, just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
You know who clip I'm about to play? All right, I got something. Andre, you didn't want to show up. We got something for you, Andre. You didn't come. We're still going to include you. But I'm going to play the CNN clip first because this is very important. CNN, they talked about the Irina, the lady who was unalived, which we are going to touch on, but we got to make time for the Maryland lady too, Grace. But let me play this first.
They called attention to it.
So certain people have been looking for an opportunity to find a case like this, to make a point like this. I want to play, this is Charlie Kirk, why he says this hasn't gotten a lot of attention.
A white Ukrainian refugee was murdered just because she was white. Everybody knows that, obviously. If a random white person simply walked up to and stabbed a nice law-abiding black person for no reason, it would be an apocalyptically huge national story used to impose national sweeping political changes on the whole country. Instead, Megan Basham, no one seems to care when a white woman gets stabbed to the death.
Wow. He said white a lot.
Well, we are talking about it here on AV5, so I guess
True.
I mean, I don't think that's fair. Look, being in the system, because I have represented people who are mentally ill, and here's the balance. The balance is taking away people's freedom versus evaluating their mental illness. In New York City, there are a lot of programs for people who are mentally ill, but they have to want to be there.
Yeah, and it's
about
difficult
forcing them to be there.
When you are mentally ill, you have a hard time knowing that you are mentally ill.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, people like Charlie Kirk, they've been looking for opportunities to make this some sort of like reciprocal George Floyd situation. And that's the part that I think he's almost giving away the game. And it's sad to see a lot of people going along with it.
Let me just say a couple of things. One is, what happened to that young woman was horrible. And it's everybody's nightmare. If you're in any public space, a subway, whatever, that something bad's going to happen to you or somebody you care about. So it does strike a chord. We don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that, it's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong. Then he says that if something like that had happened the other way, there would be sweeping changes imposed on society. Where is the George Floyd Policing Act? It didn't pass. Even when you had a white police officer murder a black man on live television, the whole world saw, there were no sweeping changes. In fact, not one law was passed at the federal level. So I think that's an important thing to point out. The other thing is, you mentioned the thing about cashless bail. I think this is a big challenge that we have. Would you have felt better if there had been cash bail and the mom had come and put down $1,000 to let him out? It's not about cashless bail or no cashless bail. It's about the fact
yes,
that
it
we
is.
don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people.
Oh my God, are we? I can't take no more. I can't take no more. I can't take no more. First of all, Van Coon, he said I'm gonna kill this white girl. Like, honestly, any white person listening to him talk, I would be offended. You can't deny the fact that there was a racial element to this. Now, I'm not saying it's the whole thing, but two things can be true. He was mentally ill and there was a racial element. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, it's very possible that he did a racial element. I mean, this guy has schizophrenia. Who knows what he's experienced with white society? He's homeless. So I will say it's a possibility that, of course, that it could be based on race. I think the big issue is that once these types of things happen, like Charlie Kirk said, that, everybody will marching out the streets, this isn't that. What I've seen black people do is when it's government-sponsored terrorism, where it's the government, the police, doing something to a black person. And then even with the case of Trayvon Martin, even though George Zimmerman wasn't the police, he was neighborhood watch. So this is the type of stuff that people feel like the government sponsors it. There's plenty of victims every single day based on race. I mean, it's interracial. We talked about interracial relationships. I'm pretty sure it's plenty of people killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know.
Yeah. So, Evan, as a white tea adjacent woman, I don't want to call you that, but as an Irish woman, what do you think about what you saw yesterday on that tape? I know you commented on the man cave. Y'all can go watch more reactions to it. But now that, we're touching on it, do you agree with what Van Jones said? You can respond in that way.
I don't think she's there.
Oh, no, she's there. It's just because she's not on camera.
I am. I'm here. I'm thinking. I gotta make sure I word this correctly. And, I think that when it comes to this, I don't think it was racially charged specifically. I think mental illness was involved. I agree with you, Nora, in the fact that two things can be true at the same time. And being able to look at a situation like this in multiple perspectives can give you a better view overall. I think that the media does push the stories that get us riled up, that get us having these conversations and debating back and forth with each other, because it divides us. And it's beneficial to the prison industrial complex and the military industrial complex and governmental control overall. So Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and we're all different races on this call right now, different parties. So you're getting a balanced view. Gray is obviously a black man, and he's a Democrat. I am a woman of color who's half Moroccan, half Jamaican. So you're getting first generation viewpoint, but I'm also more on the conservative side. And Heaven is a Irish woman who is nonpartisan. So you're getting all viewpoints, but usually
I'm a patriot. That's what I'll say. I'm
she's
a
a
patriot. I
yes.
serve the country,
Yes.
and right. That's I'm for the people, regardless.
Yes. So, what an idiot. Anyways, we usually have someone here by the name of Andre. I think we're going to send a search party out for him. But Heaven, I had to play his clip. It's fine. He's an idiot. We're going to get the people going. This is Andre Heaven. We're going to let you respond first because we know you love to respond to him.
Welfare.
Hold on. This is not it.
We don't have a crime problem. We have a race problem and a nigger problem. A 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee was stabbed to death by a nigger whose name I won't even say. And I think he deserves a lesser title than nigger. I think calling him a nigger is too disrespectful to the word nigger. This is a prime example for why people don't like being around niggers and are skeptical anytime they're around black people. We are the main reason for why people in this country don't like black people. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not a fan of the Ukrainian refugees being here. However, the fact that a Ukrainian refugee escapes a war-torn country, where a country being bombed, her countrymen being killed, they come over here to the United States where she thinks it's safe, gets fucking killed by some nigga on a train. This is what makes people racist. This is what makes people biased. This is what makes people have prejudice towards black people. It's behavior like this that we don't call out, that we don't police, and we don't get these fucking people off the street. Black fatigue is increasing significantly. And I'm telling you this, when people bounce back, everyone in this country, it's not going to be nice for us as black people. We don't have a crime problem. We have a race problem and a nigger problem. A 23-year-old.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
I appreciate you in the chat, Steve. You just proved my point. White people will never accept you no matter how you pander to them. They will not. Point blank, period. There is a man, Andre, who thinks he's very intelligent and very well spoken, and he's all like against black people. But do you see this? They will never fucking accept you. Never. It does not matter how much you pander to them. It's just I'm beside myself with looking at the self-hate. Like, why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you hate your community? What did your parents do to you that makes you look at people that look just like you and dehumanize them because of the color of their skin? But nobody questioned if that Ukrainian refugee had a visa or was illegal or any of that. But when it was the Haitian legal immigrants, that they were absolutely legal, they were disparaging them, saying they shouldn't even have come here and they wouldn't have gotten into a car accident. Seriously? So let's just, she shouldn't be here. She got stabbed on a train because it's a black person. No, she got stabbed on a bus or train or whatever because we have a mental health crisis. Period.
Or let's talk about.
Sorry, I can't stand that, man.
No. You did good, but the other point I want to make, and this goes out to the FBAs. I love y'all, but this should wake y'all eyes up. Not one white person was saying, "Oh well, she Ukrainian. Who cares?" They was all ganging together, and they're fired up and saying a white woman was attacked. We need to gang together. We need to fight against black fatigue, against black this, black that. Y'all need to take notes because let me tell you, I saw some disparaging thing against those Haitian migrants. And they're like, oh, well, they're not black. Who cares? Oh, well, they shouldn't have been here. Like you said, oh, well, it's a victimless crime. Not once did I see any white person saying that. Not once about that woman. And nonetheless, I'm heartbroken. Let me be clear. I don't care what race she was, but I'm trying to show y'all they don't think like that. They don't be doing that dividing shit. When it comes down to it, they're ready to attack for their kind and they stand with their people.
Yeah, I get what you're saying in that regard. But what I would also say is basically that people want to make it about race because that's the easy thing to make it about. Let's make it about race. We're not going to talk about the homeless problem. We're not going to talk about this person with schizophrenic. We're not going to talk about economic problems. We're not going to talk about more critical issues that could be resolved and prevented this from happening. We're going to take the easy route and say, oh, okay, this was a guy that wanted to kill white women and he saw a white woman and he hit her up. This could have been a guy, he could have been attracted to her and just felt like, okay, this is what I'm going to do to her because I'm getting off in some type of way sexually. So, I mean, like, we don't know. But saying it's just basically race is the easy way out.
Yeah, fair enough. And for everybody in the chat, I know you guys, we just played a Black perspective. I'm going to give you a white perspective. Nick Fuentes, hate him or love him, this is what he has to say about it. And I know a lot of
how could it have been avoided if she was racist? We were led to believe that any level of prejudice, any level of pattern recognition is the highest evil. Not just evil, but the highest evil. Oh, you're racist? I can't even be in the same room with you. Oh, you did a double take? You're looking over your shoulder because a black man is behind you? That is systemic racism, a microaggression. That is internalized racism. How dare you think that? How dare you react that way? I don't even want to know you. I don't want to be your friend. It's worse apparently now than being a murderer, barely than being a rapist, a terrorist. And yet, if she were a little bit more racist, she'd be alive. If she were a little bit more racist, her parents would have their daughter. If she saw that guy and turned and walked the other way, she'd be alive. If she said, I won't turn my back to him, I'll sit behind him, I'll sit facing him, she might be still alive. But what are we to do when the lesson over and over and over again is safest bet, don't be near them? Safest bet. And who wants to gamble with their life? Your safest bet is don't be in a situation where they will also be there. Next safest bet, if you see them, get away. It doesn't matter if they notice. It doesn't matter if it's offensive or insulting. If that's your safest bet, who can argue that we shouldn't behave this way? Who would argue that you should risk your life and get stabbed in the neck for no reason like her or like Austin Metcalf because you don't want to be insensitive, because you'd hate to be racist? How's that going to make the super predator feel? Or, unfortunately, how would that make an ordinary black person feel? I care about my life more. And I'm a single man. I can't imagine what it's like for a family. God forbid you're a man with your girlfriend. God forbid you're a man with your wife, with your young children. At that point, you have an obligation to get away. You're going to gamble the life of you, your spouse, and your children because you don't want to be insensitive. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to be considered a prejudiced person, whatever that even means. Is it worth your life? Me, easy, no. You know, I like being alive. I don't like knives lodged in my throat. So I don't go near black people. And I understand perfectly well. There are a lot of black people that are not violent, and I understand perfectly well there are a lot of black people that are really good.
All I gotta say is, if you see a white tee person come towards you in a trench coat, run. There are a lot of white people that don't shoot up schools. There are a lot of white tee people that don't go postal. Are all white tee people gonna go postal? Are they all gonna shoot up schools?
Can we just say, hold on, Nora, you just proved it. Going postal is a term. Where was that coined originally? Going postal, because why? A white tee man who worked at the post office went and bombed them, right? Yeah. Right? So even the phrase going postal. That whole thing, I'm sitting there like, how many?
No,
what
yeah,
serial
exactly.
killers are there?
Nick,
Like,
you're right.
hello?
We should start going in the opposite direction when we see white tea people. Like for me personally, because y'all be the ones shooting up schools, y'all be the ones bombing places. Let's be real. Black people don't be
Touching
doing that.
children.
So you're right. You're right. You're right.
To have this point, going postal, that guy, he got fired like a month before his retirement, so he was like extremely upset. And that goes into basically what I'm saying now. I'm not saying that a person shouldn't go against their instincts. I mean, like if you see something and you feel like, hey, my life is in danger, I should protect myself or I should get away from this situation. I mean, I'm going to get away from the situation, but to just blanketly say, hey, all black people, I mean, there's Carlton from Will Smith, or somebody really going to be afraid of him walking in the middle of the night. I mean, if people really going to be afraid of Tim Scott, the list goes on and on of people that are black that are non-threatening. So in this situation, I feel like most people themselves don't sit close to people on public transportation. So, I mean, like, to me, it's just situational. I don't think that it's based on race. But they want to make it about race for a political agenda.
And he said, you guys don't feel scared. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not trusting a white tea people. But I grew up around black people. I mean, so I think it's just who you grow up around. But honestly, I've had to learn
I grew up around white people, and I'm scared. Well, I'm more scared around white people. I don't trust white people. I grew up around them. I've heard what they've said. I've experienced trauma at the hands of these people that were supposed to, be loving and be the example for me. So,
yeah,
that's
no, I
doesn't
agree
matter
with you.
if it's black or white, and that's where we need to stand. Of a person unaliving another person is unacceptable, and we need to look into why, and we need as a nation to address the systemic mental health issues that we have, whether it be black men, white men, black women, white women. It does not matter the race. We need to address people's instability in their lives to help address the mental health and drug crisis and unaliving crises that we have across this nation. Our kids need help when they're going and unaliving their classmates. Our kids need help. And us sitting here as the adults bickering back and forth about who's the worst race is ridiculous when our kids are being unalived in their school, when they're being unalived in their place of worship. This is unacceptable as Americans.
True.
Yeah, fair enough. I have one last clip, guys. I'm going to play. This is something that I think has not gotten enough attention. Me and Kamal talked about it today. It was the young Maryland woman, 19 years old, unalived by an illegal immigrant. I'm going to play the clip. He's up for murder charges now.
A man in the U.S. illegally is now charged in the murder of a missing 19-year-old woman. Dakara Thompson's body was found Sunday in Annapolis, more than a week after she disappeared from Prince George's County. Police say surveillance video led them to her alleged killer, Hugo Hernandez Mendez. Our Carl Willis is digging deeper into the suspect's history and why he was released from custody once before.
She means so much to so many.
The life of 19-year-old Dakara Thompson taken under circumstances still unknown to police. The discovery of her body, the tragic end to 2 weeks of searching and praying for her return.
It is tough that we're at this point where the search is over and justice begins.
Investigators say justice goes through Thompson's suspected killer, 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez. Police say Thompson got into his car on August 23rd and was driven to his home in Bowie, where they say he killed her in his bedroom. Prince George's County Police and state police say they had no prior contact with the suspect.
Nothing, not that we're aware of, but we are aware of one prior arrest.
but that arrest was made by federal officers. According to ICE, the Guatemalan national was in the country illegally after entering at an unknown time and place. He was arrested for DUI by United States Park Police in April of this year before being released to await his trial. He's accused of killing Thompson 4 months later in August, and an ICE detainer was just filed against him Thursday. In a statement, an ICE spokesperson wrote, "Local officials like Prince George's County endanger the safety of its residents by refusing to honor ICE detainers and releasing criminal illegal aliens back into the community to reoffend." The county executive pushing back.
This was someone who was in their custody, and they made the decision to release him. So I think the questions should be asked of the Justice Department.
As the family grieves, Thompson is being remembered for one of her final acts, working with nonprofit Prince George's County. Maryland Governor Wes Moore writing in a statement, "She was a bright light in our state. We will use every tool at our disposal to ensure those responsible for this crime are held accountable."
So, Gray, have you heard about this story before today?
Yeah, we talked about it on Dana's show.
And what's your thoughts?
Basically, like, I know he like led her to a house, so I don't know if this is a romantic situation. So I can't say don't make it about race with a black and white lady, and then say make it about race with the illegal guy and the black girl, because it could be a romantic situation. It could also just been, you know.
They're saying that she was a prostitute.
Yeah.
Because I guess they're not saying that, but that's what has been alluded to.
Yeah, so I mean, like, she was a prostitute and then she was deleted. I mean, in that line of work, a lot of those people do end up getting their lives took because, you know, you're dealing with people you don't have a background check on, you can't trust. So for me, I'm not gonna be like, oh, just because I'm black, get rid of all the illegal immigrants because of this one crime. I'm not one of those people, but I think you're gonna hear conservatives. And when I was on the show with Dana, the whole talk was get rid of illegals, just like how white people say about illegals, get rid of them because this one person committed a crime. So
well, I'm gonna keep that same energy. I've been saying get rid of the illegals. Now, this is just for me personally. But Heaven, the reason why I personally think it's racially motivated is it's not getting attention. What do you think about this not getting coverage? Is it because people don't care about women, or what do you think?
I think just like you can see when things are being pushed, what is being pushed and what isn't being pushed. And it's typically anything that will cause discourse and cause racial divide. And even in the fact of us discussing what gets pushed and what doesn't. So it adds so much layers to the discourse that we go back and forth about that we don't actually address the root causes, because we're so just charged on who it was, what color they were, what was their gender. A person unalived another person. It does not matter if they were illegal, if they weren't illegal. It does not matter. A human being unalived another human being, and it needs to be taken care of. I don't think that, I mean, we're not always going to see every single unalived and know all the information about every case. It's just too many, which is why it's a mental health issue, which is why it's a crisis in this country when you have so many people that don't make enough money. People are getting by the skin of their teeth. Doesn't matter if it's the Black community or the white community. It doesn't matter if it's the inner cities or the rural communities. People are struggling.
Yeah, that's true.
Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually. And if we don't address those things, Black, white, Asian, immigrant, non-immigrant, we will continue to see this divide. And they push it because that's what they need to control us. So we don't organize. So we don't have the time to think and work together to come up with a better system.
Shout out to Family Guy. Let's make families great again. Thank you so much for the super chat. And he's right. Family Guy, if you want to restart the show, me and Gray had a debate about this at the top of the show. I said the problem with the Black community, the number one problem, I'm going to be honest with you, is the desegregation, the breakdown of our families. And I do blame some of it on the government. And I know y'all probably don't agree, but yeah, the degradation of our families. That is the basis. And let me tell you, y'all, the Black community is the first to be broken down. Y'all are next. If we don't make families great again, white families are next. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, guys.
And historically, that's what shows. Can we let's look at history and not just back to slavery, let's look at it as a whole. And discussing like the Holocaust that's currently going on, just like the one that did. It wasn't just religiously motivated. There were political prisoners, and whoever was deemed a actual deviant was also in those camps. So it wasn't just those people being unalived and put in those camps.
I want to say to the people in the chat, this is only a part of our cast. We have way more people in our cast. We have people that are further right. We have all different types of people. So I see people complaining, but this is only.
Don't give a damn if they complain. Who cares? Get y'all.
You got to check all the videos. You got to check all of our stuff. We have multiple different groups. We have.
They're also calling me a tranny.
So rotate.
Tell what they have to say.
Right.
They're calling me a man, so who cares? They're a bunch of idiot loser bots. But anyways, guys, for those of you watching, anyways, guys, I don't give a damn if they complain. Who cares? Come back tonight. You'll complain tonight because we everybody on here represents a different viewpoint. On the not one of us have been on the same side this whole show. But
right, and let's just clarify: I'm not a Democrat, nor a liberal, nor a fucking leftist. I'm none of those. My oath is to the Constitution and the people of the United States of America. I don't care where you stand or who you don't like or who you can't stand. Americans need to stand together because we're getting trampled.
Exactly. Like we can't play to the audience all the time. That's the reality. But we're going to do closing thoughts. I'm going to let Gray go first.
Right, Family Guy. That's correct. Left or right is an illusion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Family Guy one more time.
So Gray, in your closing thoughts, answer his question. This is a good question he posed. He said, since you agree with Nick, racially speaking, as you stated, how do we evolve?
I agree with him racially speaking. For me, I'm saying that instinct, that if a person says, like if you see a person who's Muslim go on a plane and you say, oh, I'm afraid of the plane, I'm not going to go against you. You see a black guy on the same side of the street as you and it's late at night and you're afraid and you go across the street, I don't think it's anything wrong with self-preservation. The way that we evolve is that we just continue to grow. We continue to get better technology. We continue to try to grow economically and work with each other. We have worked best as a society when we're all trying to accomplish a goal. When we had the same enemy during World War II, Black people went and worked and helped create the weapons, as well as went to war. Women worked, and when we were all trying to accomplish a mission. When we are living in moments of peace, I feel like that's when we attack each other. So that's how we evolve. If we can all try to accomplish a common goal, we will all get to a good place. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please come back and check in. Like I said, I know a lot of people were complaining that we all seem like we're left. I'm the only left one on here. So come see the other people that are on our cast so you can see, because the new party is about all different views. So come back in and you'll see people with views that probably match your own.
Or and don't come back. I don't care.
And like we always say on a new party, always vote.
Evan, what do you think? The answer to the question is, how do we evolve?
We evolve? We evolve by using the technology we already have to build better systems. As things get taken away from us, as Americans all across the nation, whether it's our Republican farmers that are losing their farms, that's devastating to a family unit. And that's going to be devastating to all of us nationwide. We need to stop looking at things as race and gender and start looking at it as a human issue. AI, okay, we have that tool. So why don't we plug a question into AI? What's the best system for healthcare to save the most money? And then we go back to the government and say, hey, where is all the data that was scraped by Elon Musk and Doge that he just left and took? Because that's weird. I digress. We all have different viewpoints, but we all want the same thing. We all want to thrive. We all want our children to succeed and be happy and well taken care of. We don't need government intervention if we just look at each other as human. That's it.
Oh, my
Lord.
bad.
Oh Lord, he all apologizing to the chat, telling the chat, come back tonight.
Oh,
come
you-
back. You get all viewpoints. Listen, I don't care if you come back tonight. I would love if you do, but at the same time, if you
You're
don't
the
like what
super
we're
chat.
saying, that's okay. What did it say?
Right here.
Oh, I already read that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But I'll actually read it again. Thank you, Family Guy. Shout out to you. Come back tonight. I love everybody in the chat, even though the ones that don't love me. If you do come back tonight, we will be talking about, is America one step closer to World War III? We just saw Israel bomb Qatar today. Also, France is on the brink of collapse, and they're also telling their hospital something that is very troubling. We'll be talking about that, also around things going around the world, because although I'm personally America first, it is important to know what's going around the world, because somehow, some way, we always send our military there. So you need to stay woke and the fact of aware of what's going on and stay noticing. And Family Guy, shout out to you. You are the real MVP. Let's make families great again. God bless, and everyone have a great day.